Hello, everyone. John Stahl here. Nice to see you all here. I am with Jason Mittleman, who is so graciously giving us his time this evening.
Hey everyone.
Thank you so much, Jason, for talking to our Slack channel members. And thank you, everyone who has joined us, who's joining us tonight.
I'm gonna believe that there's people here because I can't see anyone. So
you can't see anyone.
Just...
They're all on a YouTube stream right now. There are
cool.
people. I've looked though. It's
John.
pretty cool.
Sure. Okay.
So this session is going to be recorded and posted online so people can watch it after the fact. And we're going to break the chat down into two parts. First, conversation between Jason and me. Just going to ask some questions, going to get some answers. We'll have a nice little time. And then we will get some questions from the attendees. If you have any questions, please post them in the YouTube chat on the right. Jana will be there to collect questions and we'll pose them to Jason once we're ready. So without further ado, I'm thrilled to welcome our guest, Jason Mittleman, to this Pivot TV webinar. Jason began his career as a writer and story producer on the long-running unscripted comedy show Ridiculousness on MTV. In 2018, wanting to break into scripted comedy, took on roles as a writer's assistant on Atypical and The Goldbergs. In 2020, he sold a half-hour YA comedy pilot to Netflix, adapted from the book Best Night Ever. During the pandemic, Jason pivoted in a unique direction by starting his own TikTok channel, sharing his passion for collectibles and trading cards. His channel grew quickly, leading him to his current role as a host for Mamba Cards, a TikTok channel with over 15,000 followers, where he's found his passion in hosting and connecting with a community of fellow enthusiasts. Jason, did I miss anything there?
I think that's everything I've ever done accomplished. So you got
me. Fantastic. Well, we'll be getting even deeper into it.
Cool.
But I guess, so just like briefly walk us through your career in entertainment. Tell us what you liked about working in film and TV, and some things that weren't so great.
Yeah. I got my start. Okay, so I went to USC for undergrad. Graduated now, I guess, like 14 years ago, I guess. And I did, I was in the music program, but I always did like writing and sketch comedy and like dabbled in all that stuff as a kid and in high school. So in college was the first time where I was like, oh, you could actually like have a career maybe as a writer or a comedian or like doing something creative like that. And I ended up taking a random screenwriting class. Like I was like, oh, I'm going to write my like Oscar winning movie. And then I wrote some like horrible script in a screenwriting class, but I had the most amazing professor. It was like just kind of like happenstance. Like I just really connected with that one professor and he kind of mentored me over the next few years. And then when I graduated college, I worked in like the music industry for a year, but I really wanted to I was writing my own stuff and I really wanted to get into film and TV. So then I just reached out to that professor and I stayed in touch with him. And I was like, do you have any possible like work for me? He's a writer director. And he basically was like, can you be in New York on like a Monday, 2 days later? And I was on a plane and then I started as his assistant on a movie in New York. I get there and he's like, if anyone asks you, you have 2 years of director's assistant's experience. And I was just like, okay. And then like, whatever. I didn't know what I was doing, but I jumped in, loved it. And then from there on, I was writing a lot of my own pilots. And I ended up getting a writer's assistant job on Ridiculousness, came back to LA and then got promoted, wrote for 5 years there. And then, you already did my bio. But I've been in a lot of writers' rooms. I was in the writer's room on Goldberg's Atypical and then Unstable most recently as a Netflix show. That was my last job in television, actually, 2 years ago. That I was the script coordinator. And what I liked about working in TV was getting to be creative every single day, waking up and just walking into the writer's room and being like, I'm just going to bring the most creative ideas I can, most creative energy. I feed off of that. So getting to be around like really talented writers, artists that I really respect and getting to just like take something from like literally a random idea all the way to like a full episode of television, a full story, fully realized characters. It's just something I really love. And I liked getting to like bring entertainment to people. I don't know, just getting to make people laugh, like provide, I don't know, like the world's kind of crazy right now. I
Yeah.
don't know if anyone's been paying
Anyone
attention, but just getting to,
following?
I don't know, how much can you actually do as one person? You can, sometimes you feel hopeless, but like, you actually, I don't know, I felt as like a TV writer or working in this industry that we all love, like you at least get to do something you love. You get to get paid to do something you love, which I think so many people, 99% of people probably don't. So I think that's really special. I was always really drawn to that. And then number two, like, yeah, like I think you're actually in some way having like a positive impact on people, whether even if it's just like fun, entertainment. I think more and more people are like using that as like really important, like escapism. And yeah, I liked being able to like give people that. So yeah, that's what I loved about it.
That's
The other
great.
question is what I didn't like, right?
Yeah. What was not
A lot.
so
No.
wonderful?
The number one thing, I don't know if you guys can relate to this, but the emotional roller coaster of not knowing, basically the uncertainty. You can, the mental like gymnastics of basically you can do the best job. You can be the most talented person in the room. You can stay late, get there early, be told you're doing the best job, get the best reviews from your showrunner, get the best reviews from your fellow writers. You can write episodes of television, and literally no matter what, you can win a Academy Award, and then you could not have a job on Monday. Like to when the season ends, you don't have a job, and it's not like there's a maybe 10 years ago, 5 years ago, there was more of like oh, you just get on the next show, or like you work on a show that goes for 10 months, like, or a year. But like no, like you work on, this is what you do. You literally, all the jobs are at Netflix. I mean, yes, there's other networks, but like literally you're on a Netflix show for 3 or 4 months. If you're a writer, if you're a script coordinator, if you're a writer's assistant, and then you don't have a job. And when you're younger, or like when whatever, you're like, I'm just gonna get the next one. I'm gonna hustle. I'm gonna use my connections, and that all used to. I saw it happen. That for me worked really well 5 years ago. Worked really well. The last 3 years, oh my god, like you could have. I had really amazing connections. Like I
Yeah.
had an agent at a big agency. I had a manager. I had a lawyer. I had like the whole thing. After I sold my thing pilot to Netflix, I had the whole team. No one can help you. Like literally, like it was crazy. Like I found myself like I was. You all are probably hustlers because I mean I assume if you're working in television or wanting to, you have to hustle. And like I found myself with a manager, with an agent, and literally just back at this place where like I'm just like doing everything, hustling myself, and I just felt the bottom falling out. Like I don't know. Like obviously everyone did. There was a strike. Like you can hustle as hard as you want. You could write a pilot every single month, and like you just still don't have any certainty. You have no like clear. I guess having no clear path was my biggest issue. Like any other even creative job, like working at an ad agency or like a designer or a copywriter, it's like if you start as a junior person or an assistant and you work your way up, there's an actual path. Like if you're
Yeah.
good, if you work hard, if you make good connections, if you do good work, you'll be promoted. You can have a career. You can like support a family yourself. In television, for whatever reason, and it's completely broken, it's like that does not exist. And I think unless you get lucky over and over again, I got lucky a few times. It was amazing. You don't get lucky like over. It's just not possible. Like so, yeah. I
Yeah.
don't know. I actually felt like it was impossible. It
Yeah.
ended up being impossible after even doing it for 10 years, having credits, selling to Netflix.
Sure.
I still felt like it was impossible. And
What
like it was, yeah.
can
It's
you
like
speak to?
that's. I got a lot I don't like about it, but
Can you
yeah,
speak to what it was like to sell a pilot to Netflix? I mean, that's a
yeah.
really big accomplishment.
It is a big accomplishment. And I really don't take it for granted. And I'm so happy I had that experience. It was at the time the coolest like experience ever to like have. I don't know, like it's an interesting career too because a lot of people like you basically do this job for free for years. I mean, I don't know if your guys' experience, but like you do this job for free. You believe in yourself. You write spec pilots, spec features. You just whatever thing inside of you that we all have that's crazy to like I'm gonna just keep generating stuff for free for like 5 straight years or 10 straight years. It's for it to actually lead to someone buying something and like it just felt to get paid to like actually do it was like the coolest feeling. um but you know, in an industry where you hear no so much, it was like when I sold it, I didn't believe it was true. And like the producers were like, you don't seem like at all excited about this. You just like sold a show to Netflix. And I was like, I don't believe that it's happening. Like, I'm going to like, something's going to go wrong. Like something's going to go wrong. Like whatever. But no, once we got going, actually working on the work was the coolest thing ever. I also felt a lot of imposter syndrome, but once I got through that and once I like actually got to like, you know, I'd written like some stuff for TV, but I'd never created a show or anything. And like, I didn't create the show, but I didn't go, the show never happened, but I did develop the whole pilot with them, write the whole pilot, create the whole like Bible and everything. So I did the whole development cycle with Netflix, but so it was all amazing. Getting the pitch to the executives there, selling it, like all of that was incredible. Working with the producers was amazing. It was really cool. And then, yeah, but like, I got to see the downside of it too, where like, so I sold it, and this is just how crazy the industry is now. Like, it was peak COVID, so like, when I sold it, it like was crazy. I couldn't believe it. And then when we made the deal, my lawyer goes, "This is crazy." He like made some joke. He goes, "I think you're the last person to like sell a show to Netflix." Like, and I'm like, wait. I was like, ha ha ha, like what do you mean? And then like literally, I think he just saw where the industry, how the industry was like shrinking. But yeah, by the time it was time for the show to get picked up, the head of comedy at Netflix was fired, laid off. A new head of comedy came in. When I sold the show, they wanted YA. 9 months later, when it was time to pick the show up, they wanted multicam. And all of the executives that I had worked with no longer worked there. This is in 9 months. And then they said, "Can it be a multicam?" And I was like, "It's a YA comedy. Like it literally is the opposite of a multicam." And I was like, I could like develop a multicam, and they're like, "Oh no, no, no." And then yeah, anyway, that was it. But it led to cool meetings. It led to like whatever, but like not. And then it just was at a time when the industry was completely imploding. I was developing a lot of stuff, and then industry imploded, COVID, strike. Strike killed all momentum of anything else I was working on. And so, yeah, like, I had already been side hustling, doing the collectibles and hosting on TikTok, but that's when I went like full time doing it during the strike. I was like, I don't want to wait around for this industry that's like not gonna be there for me. So I want to like work. I want to do something where like I am appreciated and like I'm getting something back out of it. And like, yeah, that's kind of how I kind of got into what I'm doing now by like sheer like desperation and like I have to do something else. Like so, that's kind of what it was. Yeah.
So tell me about that move a little bit.
Yeah.
What was hard about that? I guess did your background in TV help you make the transition?
Yeah, it's been really interesting because at first, well, the cool thing is like, so I guess to just like give you guys info, I don't know if anyone knows, like what I do is like kind of a newer thing, but I host a show on TikTok where I'm actually called like I'm a host, but I'm a card breaker, which means I'm the person who breaks open the boxes. So like during COVID, I used to collect like basketball, football, Pokemon, like Marvel cards as a kid. Put it all in the basement at my mom's house, like, and then like cut to like now 30 years later, whatever, I'm literally like back doing cards. During COVID, everyone was stuck at home, and like these TikTok streamers, Instagram streamers got like really big, where they were like literally just like opening sports cards, and like hundreds and thousands of people would just tune in and watch just to like see what you're gonna hit. Are you gonna hit the one of one, the golden ticket, whatever? I was like addicted to watching that during COVID, and I started like when I had no work left in Hollywood, I was like, I'm just gonna like start trying to do this at my kitchen table. And I literally just started going live on Instagram every night. I'd go to like Target and buy just like the like $30 boxes, and I would sell them for like 40. I'd make like $10, and every night I just kept doing it. And then like I opened the packs for people, and what I did start to realize is like, oh, my skills of like being able to think on my feet, like comedy background, like being able to like collaborate, being able to like quick talk to the chat, like come up with like interesting bounce idea, if someone says something in the chat, like turn it into a conversation, like just all the skills of being in the writer's room. made me like a very good host. So like I can basically hold a conversation. What I do literally every day is I go live on TikTok and I hold a conversation for 8 straight hours, which is literally what you do in the writer's room. If you're like a good writer, like, or some writers just sit there and say nothing and like get paid to sit there and say nothing. 90% of writers in the room are like just they're on it all day. They sit down and they like bring the conversation all day. There's never a dry moment in the writer's room. Like basically that's what I do on my show. I literally have an 8-hour conversation every day with a bunch of people in a chat. The only difference is they're all
having been in writers' rooms, I would say 8 hours seems very ambitious of a time frame.
So the actual work you get done in a writer's room is like 1 hour, but like the conversation and the bits and the everything goes on all day. But yeah, you're right. So yeah, 8 hours is also too long. I'm streaming too much. But it's cool. There's like a lot of it's like a growing industry. There's a lot of demand for it, so it's been cool.
What?
But yeah,
I guess before you made the leap, before you made the jump, I know that it was in a time of great change. Did you feel any pressure to stay or go, either internally or from other people?
Yeah, I felt like internal pressure, just like existential, like emotional, like connection to like, or like my identity was tied to like being a writer for a decade or more. So like my whole, career, basically, everyone knew me as a writer. Everyone knew me as like, like someone who was like making, well, all of my other like peers or like my friends and whatever are like, they're moving up in their careers. And I was kind of like known as like, oh, I'm like moving up in my career as a writer, but like I'm really just like literally zigzagging, like trying to figure shit out. But like it was a mental, emotional, like kind of mind screw, because it's like people, like I sold a show to Netflix. I like wrote for MTV show for 5 years. I like had in any other industry, like where if you've done those things, you just keep moving up. Like you at least get to keep just working. And then I had no work, and like it was crazy. So it was really like this internal pressure of like, God, like, or I was scared to like do something different because I'd done this or been so emotionally like invested in doing that. So it took a little while to like really go like all in on it. But the best thing ever I did was like realizing that you still are a writer, like you still can be creative, and like the TV industry is not going anywhere. Like it's potentially going to have more opportunities in the future when things like kind of like even out. Like they needed streaming and like whatever, all the results of the strike and everything to allow more opportunity. Like maybe that's going to happen. Maybe there will be jobs and I can go back to it if I really want to. I'm still a writer at heart. Like I can still like develop stuff, but like I don't have to like, I don't know. I don't have to like be doing TV writing to be a TV writer, I guess. I don't know. It's like a piece of advice I would give is like, if you haven't worked in like 6 months and you're like, what is going on? Like and you're just waiting around, like, and you're networking, but it's not doing anything because there's nothing for it to do right now. Like, it's like, I would say like tomorrow, like get another job. Like, and it doesn't mean you will never work in TV again, but like, I don't know, even to just distract yourself from the emotional spin of it being, I don't know, like, and find another job. There are so many other jobs that will pay you to write, even if it's not TV writing. Like there's freelance copywriting. There's actual jobs you could apply to, which is, you can't apply to a TV job, which is hilarious. Yeah. Like you have to like, you get like an email that like 100 other people got for one position, and you have to like throw your resume at it. And if like it didn't get there in 5 minutes, you don't even get an interview, whatever. Anyway, I don't know. Can you reel me back in, John?
Yeah, of course. Can you talk a little bit about, where UGC social branded content platforms like TikTok, YouTube, where that fits in the future of entertainment, and how that industry is growing, and maybe for anyone who hopes to kind of break in.
Yeah, I think it's like, I didn't realize how like quickly it's growing and how big it is until, I mean, like we all watch stuff on TikTok. We all watch stuff on Instagram, YouTube, but like, oh my God, live streaming on these things is like, I don't know if you guys have dived into that. Not like watching reels or like pre-recorded stuff. Oh my God, live is crazy. There are hundreds of thousands, there's millions of people watching TikTok every day, every hour, 24 hours a day. It's like scary. It's like Black Mirror. It's like, I think like, I don't know what the actual numbers are, but the audience is insane. It's huge. So like, yeah, my TikTok channel. So I work for a company called Mama Cards. They have a bunch of different channels. They have a channel on Whatnot. I used to stream on Instagram for them, but like I had the opportunity. I basically was working for them, and I was like, oh, I see an opportunity on TikTok. They weren't on TikTok when I started there, and I've been there for like 2 years, but like a year ago, I was like, could I like start the TikTok? Because I started to see like how all these people like doing this on TikTok. And they were like, yeah. So I started the TikTok at 0, and literally, yeah, like now we're at 15,000 subscriber or followers. And like, we went from like, 5 people in the live every day to like when I was at my kitchen table to like, yesterday I was opening like, it's a lot of sports cards, but like I'm bringing like my passions into it too. So like, there's now Marvel cards, there's Disney cards. So I've been doing Disney for the last 2 weeks. Say I'm averaging like 150 to 200 people live in my room, like all day watching my show. It's like, and that's like turnover to throughout the day, thousands of people, but like an audience of 100 to 200. And I want to grow it. My goal is to grow it to way, way bigger than that. But just that is like, I don't know, like to keep that audience all day. There's a really big audience there. And then I'm one of thousands of other streamers who are doing the same thing. Like at the same time, there's people in all these other rooms. That's just like what I'm doing, like sports cards. But there's like live selling of like whatever, like makeup and all that stuff's huge on there. There's like just live streaming, like entertaining shows. There's like a dating show on there. There's like a lot of reality stuff. There's like a speed dating show where they like let people, I don't know. I'd be like learning more about like the depths of TikTok. It's crazy. I think there's crazy opportunity there. Like, I'm still learning about it every single day. So it's kind of cool. I'm like in this place where like it's growing and I get to like expand and like, I like we have a person at TikTok who works with me too. So like I get to like learn what they're growing and like I get to strategize with them and like very much like in the ecosystem of what's happening there and getting to like actually like do something cool, put my creative in. I'm putting all my creative energy into it. It's different than writing, but it's like, but I'm even getting to make now like promotional videos that I'm like writing them. They're like they're insanely bad and low budget, but like we are bringing on, we're actually like growing. We're actually like hiring right now. I told you that, John, but like literally like I need to hire like probably like 3 people in the next 6 months. Like literally we need like a content creator or like a videographer, someone who's like good with content, like shooting and editing. We literally are going to hire someone a full-time job. We need like a graphic designer and we need like a co-host and maybe even another person who does what I do. Like literally like, it's like really growing. It's super cool. I'm excited.
I was gonna ask about that growth and like being on the ground floor of it. It's almost there's almost kind of like an entrepreneurial bent to it. Like does it feel like you have ownership in this
100%.
channel? Yeah.
There's a total entrepreneurial aspect to it. I am literally like, I feel like a deep ownership over this channel, and the company that I work for has been the opposite of my experiences lately in the last few years in television. Was like thankless, like get there early, stay late. Like I was a script coordinator on my last show, like worked my ass off, like went above and beyond, like all the crazy stuff. Did so much overtime, like whatever, and then just like, not getting a job the next season or like the show getting canceled or like, and then like no one's going to bat for you. No one's helping you. Like you're on your own. Here it's like I have like a mentor here. Like the owner of the company has been like a total mentor. They want me to grow. They've been like, they're supporting me. It's like a weird feeling almost. It's like it's that feeling like when I sold the show to Netflix. It's like, is this real?
Feels
like
foreign.
Yeah. But
can I off of that? Can I ask about kind of your view on how your view of creativity has changed since working as a host on social. Like, what I know that you're a creative, you come from that writing space, you come from TV. What does creativity mean to you now that you work in this new venue?
It's a little different, but it's really like, it's a lot of crossover in a cool way that I did never like even thought about until I did it. But like, it is the entrepreneurial thing, I would say. Instead of like writing, instead of like story generating or like idea generating, it's more like creative marketing, creative like growth ideas, like, which can be a lot of creativity, strategy. But as a writer, like, you really are kind of an entrepreneur. Like, the more I think about it, it's like you have to like make your own brand as a writer. You have to like market yourself as like, what like genre do you do? Like, what are you good at? Like, if you're going out for a writing job, like, are you a great comedy? Like, mostly I did all comedy. So like, what you have to be an entrepreneur. You have to be like, I am my company, I'm the company, Jason Mittleman, and I'm great at like joke writing, and like I have these accomplishments that my company has done, and like you really have to make your own brand. So it is like, there is a lot of entrepreneurial stuff to writing that I'm now like just applying to this. And yeah, I would say in like a really interesting way that I never thought was going to happen. I really do feel like I'm using that creative like part of my brain that is the only part of my brain that like has ever been able to like work for professionally, I guess. So like, I'm using it. I'm definitely using it here, and I think it's because of my background and all my experience. It's allowed me to like have like some success doing this. And I actually think it's uniquely like, you do need to have like kind of like sports knowledge or entertainment, pop culture knowledge to do these. Like, you have to know like what you're opening in the packs and the boxes and stuff, but you can also learn that. But a skill that can't be taught is like the creative skill, the being able to like carry a conversation, being able to be like personable, like, because if you just are a person, if you just sat there silently and like open cards, it would just be like weird and no one would watch your show. So like,
I've watched multiple of your card openings, and I'm always entertained, even if I'm not like into Disney trading cards. Or
thank you.
I'm still,
dude, there's like 20 people in the chat every day that go like, I don't know what this is, but I like it. And they're like, and then they like follow. And so it's cool because every day I'm like trying to bring people in. I'm trying to like reel people in. I also am creating a community. I'm creating like a really like tight-knit community of like regulars. It's crazy. Like, there's probably like 30 to 40 people right now that watch the show every single day, all day. So it's like that. I mean, it's not the audience of like a show on Netflix, but it's like also a show on Netflix is like 30 minutes. Like, I have people watching my show for 8 hours. Like, there's certain shows on Netflix you watch for 8 hours, but it's like Love is Blind or something. I don't know. So it's been really fulfilling to like be able to like go to work every day and like just be able to work. Like, I guess that was a big problem with like TV for me, was like, when it was good, and then a lot of times I wasn't working. And like, that's insane. Like, that's why there was a strike. That's why there's so many layoffs. That's why there's the industry needs to like have a reckoning, and I don't know like what it is going to be. It's like figuring out what it is right now. I don't know.
What, I guess, I mean, you kind of touched on this, but like, you're on the other side of this. When we spoke, you said something really interesting that struck me. You said, if I was offered a staff writer position today on a comedy show at Netflix, new season, new show, whatever, I probably wouldn't take it. Can you explain yourself, Jason?
I know. So yeah, if you asked me that like a year ago or 2 years ago, I would like take it in a second. But after like getting out, it's like I'm still in the union. I'm still like which my health insurance is about to run out for the first time ever in like a week. So that's fun. But I will have to figure that out. But like, because of the lack of stability, because of what I'm doing now is so like fulfilling, and so just straight up like financially, like I'm actually making money and supporting myself and my like family and all, like just that. And gonna have a job tomorrow. I'm gonna have a job in 6 months, unless I like screw something up horribly or TikTok goes away or whatever. But I'll take my show somewhere else. Like literally, to just that stability is so important to me that you could not offer me a job on any television show, including like the reboot of Succession, that I would take right now. Literally, you couldn't. If it was 8 episodes, no way. Like literally, because I work for 4 months and I will not work again. Like not doing it. Maybe if it was like on like a sitcom that like I knew was gonna go for like 5 seasons, but that now is like out the door. They're canceling like all the sitcoms. It's like there's no stability, and I don't want to like generalize completely, but when I say there's no stability, I mean like there's one or two shows maybe that are like have a stable job. I would say generally there's no stability, and literally the only thing I would do right now is like if I maybe if I could create a show again, like or develop and get paid to do that, and I could still do it on my own time when I wasn't doing my current job, I would do that. But I would not take a writing job right now. Maybe when the industry like recalibrates and stuff, but I wouldn't do it straight up. Like, and I know that's crazy.
It's not that crazy. It's
yeah,
really
I don't know, and it's really it's to me the TV to me like. TV industry to me is like a really bad breakup with like an ex-girlfriend where like I just want to throw all the stuff away, never see her again, like to block her on Instagram, like I don't want to know if her new season got picked up, or I don't want to know if she's successful. It's like I just kind of like it's just too painful, like because it's not painful, but it's like we have a really unique industry and passion where like we actually do what we love, which so you have to, because it's crazy like to like go through the roller coaster. If you don't love it, you're not doing it for the money, like you used to be able to like have a really successful career, but yeah, so like it's really an emotional connection to that job too. So like I don't know, it's I think it would like be too painful to go back for like 4 months and then be in the same situation where I had nothing again, and like it's just too at this point in my life, like if I was in my 20s, maybe, but even if I was in my 20s coming into the industry right now, I would like tell my former self, no way. Because like this is such a bad time right now. And it's so unfair. Yeah. It's so unfair to everyone who's talented, everyone who is hardworking, everyone who should have an opportunity and a job, to like just have to battle that every single day is just like the second you're not doing it anymore. It's so nice to not battle that. It's so nice. Like, it's really nice. I don't know. Like, it's awesome. Like if I write something, it's going to be like whatever I want for me to do whatever I want with it. And it's not going to be desperate and make or break. It's just such a nice feeling. I don't know. Yeah.
I love that. And that idea of like being creative for yourself. There's something very kind of organic and natural about that I really appreciate. And I identify with as well.
Yeah. And I'm excited to like go back to like, I know it's a lot of stuff you're doing, John, but like,
yeah,
then we might do some stuff. Like, I'm really excited to go back to like the old, like almost like back to like high school when I was doing
back to your high school or your 20s. Yeah.
I would like to do that again and have no pressure on it. And like that, but you could actually like turn that into something maybe these days, like on TikTok or YouTube or whatever. So like very excited to like dabble in that kind of stuff and like fill up the creative cup that way. And like, I feel very like a year ago when, you know, I left the TV industry like 2 years ago. I would say like a year ago, I was still even feeling like a little like, oh, like whatever. But then the strike and like right now I feel, now I'm 2 years out, I feel like so good about like doing something else. And like, I don't feel like I'm not like creative or a writer, or I don't feel any loss of like identity or anything. Yeah. So it's cool. Great. It's really cool. Yeah.
Can you speak to, just for people who are considering a pivot out of TV into another area of entertainment? Because I mean, like honestly, that's exactly what you've done. Like you still in entertainment. You didn't pivot. You never pivoted out of entertainment. You just pivoted out of TV. But what would you say are the biggest kind of misconceptions surrounding pivoting? And in addition to that, the misconceptions that people have about social media in general and TikTok specifically.
Yeah, I think a big misconception, because I felt this way too, is like, oh my God, I'm like in my 30s and I'm literally going to start from scratch. Like, that's crazy. That's so scary. And like, it's like so interesting because it's like you kind of are, but then it's like you're not like a college graduate. You're not like you're not like 22 and have no experience doing anything. It's like you actually like have a lot of experience. You like, if you worked in a writer's room or you worked on a TV show, you are probably like, your work ethic is like crazy strong. Your self, like, as like your ability to self, like, if you're a writer, your ability to like self motivate, self generate is like so strong. You've learned all these skills. You've like put in your 10,000 hours of like, you know, just becoming like a professional creative. You can like jump into something else at that level. Like, I mean, not, you know, maybe you would have to start at an entry level job, but because you have all this experience, you're going to move up quickly. Like, you're not going to be like a college grad who like doesn't know what they're doing, who's like coming into work hungover and like takes 5 years to get promoted. Like, you're going to like get in there and kill it. And like, you're really starting from like more of a stronger spot than you think. I don't have any kind of like, I don't know specifically what that would look like at other jobs, that because I'm only doing this, but like I really think like if you got in as a copywriter or junior copywriter at an ad agency, like, and you had worked in TV for 10 years before that, you're gonna crush it. You're gonna move up quickly. Like, not promising that, but like I think that's real. I really do think that's real. You have a lot of experience, even if it's not specifically in this new job you're gonna do or whatever. I believe that. Yeah.
And specifically about TikTok or social media, things that people get wrong.
Yeah. I think TikTok's so interesting. It has like such a polarizing, like, people feel so strongly positively about it and negatively about it. There's like no one in the middle. It's like people love TikTok, or they're like TikTok is ruining the world, or they're like it's a Chinese company, I'm not downloading it. There's literally like so many interesting, weird things about TikTok that there's a lot of like misconceptions about it and opinions on it. But it's like anything. It's like TV. There's like so much bad. There's horrible TV that's like rotting people's brains, and like the worst of like of the world is on TV. And then there's like the most highbrow, like beautiful stories to be told. And it's like, and I'm somewhere like towards rotting the brain, but like more in the middle. But like there is like something for everyone on TikTok. It's like any entertainment platform. It's like there really is. It's so many niches, so many genres, so many different things. So I think it's not like one thing. Like, I guess like TikTok's not like it's not like dancing. Like I never see that in my algorithm. Like, I know that's like what TikTok's known for. I haven't seen a dance video in like 2 years. Like, since I do, all I see is like sports cards, pop culture, like collectibles, all that world of TikTok. Like the shows that I do that are like mine, like that's all in my feed. A lot of dog videos. That's a lot of what I watch. But no, yeah, like there is actually, if you're interested in checking it out, literally just go to TikTok live tonight and like click into whatever person is streaming, and then just literally start scrolling and see where you wind up. It's crazy. You'll wind up somewhere insane. There'll be like someone like building like a house in like India, like live streaming it, or then there'll be like someone like I don't know. There'll be some weird stuff too, but then you'll be so surprised how many people are on live and how many people are watching it. It's crazy. Then there's like 1,000 people in someone's room. It's like, so many people are watching this. It's crazy. Yeah, the audience is there for sure.
There's something for everyone. Now that you're kind of on the other side of this, the other side of a pivot, is there anything that you would go back and do differently about how you approached the move from TV into what you're doing now?
It's a good question.
And if not, that's okay.
Yeah, I don't know. I think like maybe so when I was first doing it, I was like 1 foot in the door, 1 foot out the door. I was like doing this part time, or streaming part time, um, 3 days a week, I think, and like it was almost like worse than even. It was like I would rather be doing it full time or not at all than part time, because it was like I was trying to stream at night, and then I'd like try to wake up the next day and like work on my pilot, and then I'd have to go stream again, and then it was like the pull. It's like for me, like if you don't focus like all of your energy on it, I think you're not going to get all of it out of it as much as you can. So like the craziest thing is like for a year I did it part time, and then for the last year I've done it full time, and the amount of traction I've gained from doing it full time, just the consistency, the amount of like people I've met in this industry, the amount of like networking opportunities I've had, like because like part time, you know, people don't get to they get to know you on a Monday and then you're gone till Thursday, and they're like, oh, that guy again from 3 days ago, like whatever. But like I'm on every day now, so it's like you know me, like you can't get away from me. So like it really, I would say the difference between doing it part time and doing it full time was crazy. It was like I just got so much more out of it, and it didn't affect like my opportunities were the same anyway in TV. It's not like doing it part time gave me more opportunity in TV. It didn't. So like,
Yeah.
unless you really have like some opportunities coming up, it's like I almost think it's like try to find something if you need a job, if you need to make money, or like if you just want to start getting this going and doing whatever you want to do that's different. I would say like get it going. Like literally, I don't know, like start applying, start networking, start like post on your Instagram like that you're looking for, these are your skills. You're like a creative, you're a writer. Does anyone need freelance? I did a bunch of freelance writing work for like a year. The first year I would like it's so I would literally just like through this job. I forgot to say this. I have done like 3 or 4 different like complete freelance writing jobs for people I've met in this industry. There's like 2 different people who were doing a startup in this industry that needed a copywriter to do the like copy for their website. I met them through opening cards for them. Like literally, I literally am talking to one of my clients who is like one of my subscribers on my channel. He's like starting a startup, and he wants it to have like a comedic tone, and he wants me to do all the like copywriting for it. Like I'm not even a copywriter, but like I like kind of learned how to do it. And like, I don't know. It's like, you never know what opportunities are going to come from doing something different. And like, I have gotten cool opportunities doing something different. And I would say a really good feeling is like getting like a stable job and just that you still, you know, that you're still passionate about, but like, yeah, just like, it's night and day to like have a stable job. Cause like, I would say I had 5 straight years of like roller coaster of TV industry, 5 years of like stable work. And then my last 5 years were like, it was bad. Like it was, I don't know. It's like so much nicer now. I don't know. Yeah, I would say, I guess what was the question? Like would I do anything differently? Like I would say like, unless you really have some prospects coming in the next few months, like you don't, because it's the holidays and the TV industry already probably shut down and everyone stopped working. Just like start doing something new. Like, I don't know, start doing something new. You could always leave and go back to TV. I don't know. Like, yeah, see if you like it, give yourself a chance to see if you like it. Start as soon as you can. Tell people you're doing it too. Post on Instagram, be like, I'm looking for freelance writing work. I'm looking for a new job that is anything in the creative field that I can use my skills, my 10 years of experience in television, whatever. Like, let people know, because then we're in this bubble of like trying to find these TV jobs. It's this tiny little network. Everyone's going up for the same jobs, but like get out of there and like let everyone know you're looking for stuff. And then you might start meeting new people. You don't know where it'll take you. Yeah.
Great. Any other advice for people who are either on the fence about pivoting, or they know they do want to pivot, they just don't know how? Anything that you would tell those people?
If you literally don't know what you're doing and you don't know how, and you are a writer, I don't know specifically the people who are here, but if you're a writer, literally do this. This is what I did. there's a there's a program. It's called the Bookshop. It's LA based. It's an advertising. It's a copywriting night school. It's once a week. The classes are. I did not know what I was doing. So when I was doing all this hosting stuff, I also was trying to make a copywriting portfolio. I was like crazy. I was like, I need a job, whatever job I can get first. So about 2 years ago, I thought I was going to go into advertising and copywriting. So I started working on my portfolio by taking classes at the Bookshop. I would say half of the class is former TV writers pivoting. Met so many cool people. It literally sign up tomorrow because it's like a semester is like 8 weeks and it's like $400 or $500. It's like I never finished it because I ended up doing this. But if I didn't do this, I would have done that. And you leave with a finished portfolio. I think you have to take like 8 different classes, but take one because you'll start working on something new right away. You'll start making a copywriting portfolio and you'll meet new people. Not saying you want to be a copywriter. Maybe you do though. And like literally you could sign up for that class and start taking that like whenever the next class is. Bookshop.org, I think it is. I didn't even finish their classes. I don't even have any affiliation with them. And I'm just going to recommend that because it's something tangible that you can start doing right away. And funny enough, I only got through like 4 of their courses, but the skills I learned in that, I literally used on these freelance copywriting jobs that I've done over the last 2 years too. So it's so funny, like what you learn and what you use it for. That's something random and tangible, but like zooming out a little more, I would say like take a class, like, cause you're not going to get a job on Monday, but like, you know what you can sign up for on Monday is a class. So if it's the Bookshop, it's the Bookshop. If it's like if you are a writer and you want to make your own content, but you don't know how to edit, sign up for like an Adobe online Avid class. Like, like take a screenwriting class. I don't know, like take a class, like literally get going, like meet people, like, I don't know. I guess it's really hard because I can't say like, I don't know how to find a job like specifically, but like I know how to like start the process. And for me, starting the process was actually taking some classes. And I guess that's my advice. I don't know. I'll think about it more too, but yeah.
If I can finish your thought for you, like you may not know how to get a job, if quote unquote, but you know how to capture opportunity, and that's something that I think is invaluable.
And very specifically, if you guys are writers, like you can literally go on LinkedIn right now or Monster or whatever. I don't really know how to apply to a real job, but you can go on and search copywriter and jobs will come up. Like that is super cool. You can go on and search. You cannot go on and search TV writer. Like, you know that. Like, you can't get a job as a TV writer. Like, you can't. Right now, you can't. If you do, like, that's incredible. If you do, you're literally like a 30-year sitcom veteran writer who's a showrunner who's taking a pay cut to become like a co-producer. Like, literally, you are. Like, that's the only people getting jobs. You can actually go apply to be a copywriter. And why I say the Bookshop and whatever is because, like, if you in 6 months have a copywriting portfolio, you can actually go apply for jobs. Yeah. You can't write a spec pilot right now and go apply for writing jobs. You can, but like you can't get one. So yeah, I don't know. You could actually go get an interview to be a copywriter. I think. Anyway, that's something tangible. I don't know.
Because we're approaching the hour mark. Kind of wrapping things up. What's next for you? Are there any kind of like new things coming up or goals that you're excited about?
Next for me is literally like it's literally the 1-year anniversary of starting this TikTok channel right now. So like this last week or two. So then next for me is going on a vacation during Thanksgiving and then coming back and like growing this thing, like really next year, like hiring new people, like working also with like because of all the hard work we've done over the last year and like the growth we've had. 15,000 followers doesn't sound like that many. It's solid, but like we have really strong like engagement. Like you could have 2,000 followers and if they all watch your show every day, that's like amazing. Like TikTok is basically working with us because of our engagement and they want to like we're literally working with TikTok to grow the channel. So I'm basically going to be like directly working with them. A lot of people on doing live stuff are literally just doing it, and like it's great. But I'm like actually working with TikTok, the company, as well. I don't work for TikTok, but like we're gonna basically the next year is gonna be like developing our channel with TikTok. So that's super cool. Like partnerships, growth, whatever we can do to like grow the audience, collab, like live maybe shows from other cool places, or like I have no idea. Like so far, every stream I've done has been from inside our studio, but I think maybe next year we'll do a live from like a Lakers game, or we'll do a live from like Comic-Con, or like stuff like that. Like really like get out and grow this thing. And yeah, I'm kind of just gonna work on that, and like travel, and like also, oh yeah, the other thing I would give advice on is it's really easy, especially like so many other things in the world are going like not great, and then like the TV industry like is not stable. There's like so many things that are working against us right now as like professional creatives, and I would say like don't get super down. It's really easy to get down, but like, and I've been down, but like continue to like for you to successfully pivot. I really think you can't be like depressed, you can't be negative, you can't be like, well, I don't get to do what I wanted to do, so I'm gonna go like fucking like live out my days doing something soulless. Like, no, you have to get to a place where like you are positive, you are like passionate again, and you have to like bring it, because like it's a big thing to like switch careers. So like do all the things you need to do, whether it's like be in shape physically, like be healthy, mentally, therapy, whatever, fill up your cup creatively, like travel, like continue to like I haven't written in like 2 years, but like I go to my friends like improv shows, I go to like plays, I go to movies, I watch TV, I like consume art, like do all the things that you do anyway. Don't like change doing any of that, because you need to be your best like energized creative self. You need to have that creativity like filled to the brim to be able to like put that energy into pivoting. So I don't know if that makes sense. Like continue doing everything you're doing and more, but like channel it into a completely different place, I guess, or a slightly different place. Yeah.
Where can people watch you? If you want to do a little plug.
So yeah, you can watch me on Mamba. I'll pull it up right now. Mamba Cards TikTok.
Is it at Mamba Cards?
At Mamba Cards. That's it.
I'll put it in the.
Can you see that?
Yeah, I'll put it in the chat too.
And then, like, I'm doing like these like talking head videos now. I don't know what I'm doing. I'm literally like learning how to be like a like a influencer or something. But mostly I'm live streaming 5 days a week, Monday through Friday. We start around like 1 p.m. Pacific, maybe, and then, but yeah, we are gonna like be hiring someone, because I'm probably gonna be starting the show earlier, and someone's gonna be at night. So we're gonna be, right now we stream like 8 hours. We're probably gonna be on like 14 hours a day now, and then we're gonna be on the weekend. We're like, it's cool. It's exciting time. We're like growing it, but if you want to see my hands, oh, and the funny thing right now is it's just my hands. There's no face cam. We're moving into a new studio with like cameras and everything, but right now if you want to just watch me like open cards, it's actually kind of soothing. It's like I don't know, it's funny, but
ASMR almost.
It is. There's an ASMR aspect to it. There's an entertaining aspect to it. If you like sports, you might love this actually. And also I collected as a kid too, so like there's a crazy nostalgia piece of this that like makes you feel like a kid again. It's very, very fun.
Cool.
Yeah, that's the plug. But yeah,
we're gonna get into some questions. If anyone has questions, we will take them in the chat. Should be on I believe the right hand side of the screen, that you can kind of post some questions in the chat. And while we are waiting for any questions to come in, Jana's going to keep an eye on that. Also, there is a delay of about 7 or 8 seconds usually between this and the
okay, cool,
YouTube. So they'll filter in. The questions will filter in.
This is when we find out if anyone is watching.
This is where we find out how many people care enough. Uh,
or we just answered all their questions already.
I hope so. Oh, there was one question that we got from Jana, actually. Hold on. Oh yeah, we kind of covered that a little bit. In general, experience on social. If someone wanted to like dive into social, is there anywhere that you could like point them to say like, do this first, learn this first, get these skills, and give it a try?
Oh, that's a good question. I would probably like, the way I got into it was like watching other people do it. So just going on. So like back 2 years ago, I was on like watching people do it on Instagram.
Yeah.
And I would just kind of like emulate what they were doing, like doing like a similar. What I do is like pretty specific. So kind of watching a bunch of different people that do whatever your specific thing is, watch a bunch of people and see who does it right, or not. There's no right or wrong, but see who does it in a way that you think is good, and see what people do that's good. And I've taken like pieces of all the streamers that I have watched in my space and applied them to, and I've found my like formula for like the best things that I think work the best. And but like I would say every day I literally, before I go live, I go look what other people are doing, just to see who's watching what, see who's doing what, see why this person has 200 people watching them, why does this person have one person in their room, what are they doing that's not good. And it's like, be like a student of like your whatever, your little space or whatever, I guess. Yeah. So like go on TikTok live, go on Instagram live, Whatnot. If you really specifically want to do the sports cards thing, like Whatnot is huge. Whatnot.com. Whatnot app is like, our company's on Whatnot too. Like, and I do shows there too, but my main one is TikTok. But yeah, if you really like specifically want to do like this, TikTok, Whatnot, go to literally, if you want to see what they do on TikTok, go to if you don't watch mine, go to TikTok, search sports cards, like opening or breaks or whatever, and like hit live. So, and then you'll see what people are doing.
Can you see that? I didn't know that was even
Oh
possible.
yeah. Okay, I
the
see it from Christina.
But we just put on a question from Christina, which is a really, really great question. Wondering if you have insight into that.
Marketing yourself on social media. Do you make a video or post it? Is it something you put in your profile info section? Okay. Like specifically on like in the profile info, like which profile? Like my TikTok profile. So for TikTok specifically, when you post a video, it goes on your grid and then it pushes to everyone's pages. So like once I post it, I don't really do anything else. I just post it, and then I like something that's worked really well actually is like I post it and then I have everyone who's in the live like it.
Yeah.
Because then I get like there's like 40 people Jason, in there. They all like it. It just pushes to everyone's pages. But I don't know if that was Christina's question.
Jason, I think that the question was in regards to kind of marketing yourself. If you're
approaching
a new career, if you're approaching a new career, you wanted to.
Oh, that's such a good question, Christina. Media. You know what? So I made a separate Instagram for cards. Mm-hmm. So like, because my personal one, it almost gets like too messy to mix them because I was trying to start like a new brand, and my personal one is more like basically pictures of my dog. So like it didn't make sense to post any card content there. So Christina, I literally started a different Instagram. It's called Holly Woo Cards. I still use that. It's my personal cards account, and I just followed accounts that were like in the collectibles space. I networked there. I did my shows there. This is before I worked at Mamba, and I posted all my content there. So I did start a brand new profile. Specifically for the card thing, I would do that, but I don't know about. I don't know.
If you're marketing yourself for like a new career, is there a different approach that how would you do that?
That's a really good question. You know what's funny is like I never crossed them until like I did cross them recently, like a few months ago, and it was really interesting because like people are now getting my videos on their like on TikTok. They're like, I'm getting screenshots from like friends of me like doing like a talking head or something, and they're like, what is going on? Because I never like told anyone. I didn't do like a big like personal like brand. I didn't like cross it into my personal life. So I don't know.
Yeah.
Like that's a really good question. I don't know what the right answer to that one is. But I don't think there's a wrong answer either. I also think you never know who's
Yeah.
gonna see it and like reach out to you. So I don't think it can hurt to tell people you're doing this, doing something
So
new or whatever.
on that topic,
Yeah.
how did you gain your like initial followers on
Hmm.
your separate card account? What was that process like growing that audience?
It was literally just grinding, basically going live every single night, just going live, a few hours. It was during COVID, so like this was before I worked at Mama. It was during COVID, so there's nothing to do anyway. So I would just go live every night and like basically like literally you go live every night. There's 2 people there. A month later, there's 5 people there. It's crazy. 3 months later, there's 20 people there. It's like, and then yeah, it's basically I would say just consistency is key because you're giving people like something to depend on, and like if they like what you're doing and they know you're gonna be there, like as opposed to like they don't know when to find you, they don't know when you're coming back. Like I don't know, just consistency. Say I brought that to Mamba too. Like so like yeah, they basically once I started going live 5 days a week on Mamba TikTok, it went from okay to like way better because people, I don't know, consistency works. I think literally the algorithm on TikTok like favors people who go live more,
Yeah.
probably. I don't know what the algorithm is, but the algorithm is like crazy. Like
Yeah.
it's like really crazy. It's like scary crazy. It's like I'll like open a Disney card and like 5 people with like the name of like their TikTok name is like Disney fan. Like they like appear in my live. It's like crazy. It like
Wow.
knows what's it can like push your page to like it's weird. Yeah. But
Kind of spooky.
being consistent was the number one thing. Just like whatever you're doing. If it's taking a class, if it's go to every class, if it's working on a portfolio, work on it every day. It's like just carving out the time to like really if it's applying for jobs, like apply to a job every day. It's like be consistent. You'll see way better results than like if you do something once a week or whatever, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Another
And that
question.
came from being a writer. That came from the skill that I didn't know would be useful of like writing every day. Make
Yeah.
yourself write every like using I have this like self-discipline that I got from being a writer that I'm using here. It's like been amazing. Yeah.
Amazing. Another question from Neha. I'm sorry, if I got your name wrong, Neha. What would you say is the biggest difference between streaming live on Instagram and TikTok?
There's a huge difference. It's a great question. TikTok is so much better. So and like I love Instagram like for as a social media. I don't really use Facebook or anything. Instagram I like for like just staying in touch with people, photos, whatever. But I think Instagram is real or it's basically owned by Facebook, Meta, whatever. They're not like putting resources into their live platform. They're very much doing like Meta's like doing VR and AI. I think if you're like as a company, I think that's where they're putting all their money. There's no tools on Instagram. It's literally just a live screen like this, but there's a chat. That's it. There's no like as a live seller, there's no built-in payment methods. There's no functionality. The social part of it is horrible. There's no algorithm. It's basically the people who follow you come watch and then that's it. TikTok, it's the algorithm is everything. It's like the more you go live, if you have a good show, TikTok is gonna bring people to you. I just go live and people come. It's like at first it's very you have to build it, but like once it's built, like TikTok is so much better. There's I sell sports cards and collectibles and everything. So like there's in-app purchasing. Like literally to buy something on my channel, you just click the screen and you buy it with one click. Like it's crazy. Like on Instagram, I used to like have people like Venmo me or like literally it's like and then I had to like get the Venmo and like figure out what it was for and like it's horrible. Like specifically for selling, Instagram is bad. It might be good for like if you're just doing like a show where you're not selling something, but like as a seller, TikTok is amazing. It's really cool. I imagine just generally it's better. It's the algorithm is better. I don't know. I've
Amazing.
found the best experience there by far. Yeah.
Great.
But the other thing is, it's wherever you build your community. If you really build something amazing on Instagram, I think you could do it. It's just like, I think the tools are better on TikTok personally.
Terrific. I think that's the last question that we've gotten. So we're going to wrap it up. Thank you so much for joining us, Jason.
Yeah.
This has been a real treat, a real pleasure. And thank everyone who came to watch this for joining, and we'll see you next time. And you can
thank you, John. I wish there was something like this when I was like trying to figure all this out. So this is really cool, John. Thank you for having me. Thank you, everyone. And
thanks, everyone.
Have a great night.
Take care.